Top 10 Absolute Best Romance Japanese Dramas 2023 so far. In this video, we're counting down our pick for Romance Japanese Drama of 2023. Number 1, Hold My Hand at Twilight. This Japanese drama tells the story of Asagi Soramame, who just moved to Tokyo. She lives in a country house and finds her interest in fashion. Asagi then meets Umi no Oto, a man who attracts her. They both live nearby at the coast house. At the same time, Umi no Oto is trying to pursue his dream as a musician. As a result, the audience will also see how much grief they both struggle within their dreams. Along with that, the spices of love also grow between them. Are you interested in watching? Number 2, Love Me Before You Die. Mikoto Ochiai, a female high school student, considers jumping off the school building's roof after a failed confession to her first love. The arrival of Jin Haiba, the physics instructor notorious for being a slacker and the butt of the students' jokes, interrupts her thoughts. He calmly starts a cigarette and requests an explanation of the events that brought her to this precipice. Rather than discouraging her from committing suicide, he makes a request. Will she engage in a romance with him before she dies? Together, they increasingly question why they should continue to live and why they should not truly love each other. Number 3, On a Starry Night. Yukimiya Suzu, a 35-year-old gynecologist, works in a hospital in a peaceful coastal town, but emotionally exhausted by the work and pressure of the community she faces. She's lost her friend and her passion for medicine, and she realizes that society doesn't always support her. One day, Suzu went to the camp alone and Hiragi Issei, a young man with many interests and friends, moved towards her and took some photos. And Issei kissed Suzu suddenly without warning. The next morning, Suzu woke up and Issei delivered something to her by hand movement, then left, leaving an irreplaceable meeting for the two. Although Issei is 10 years younger than Suzu, he has an unforgettable charm, and when Suzu interacts with him, her heart gradually feels free. Number 4, Marriage is Difficult for a Ninja. Marriage is Difficult for a Ninja tells about the marriage of Kosakari Goro and Kusakari Hotaru, which is filled with a number of secrets. Interestingly, the family background of the two is known as an enemy to each other. Because of this, both have to face a number of complicated marriage problems that end in a choice between family and love. Number 5, The Ring Finger Offered to a King. Ayaka, a beautiful woman working in a hotel's bridal department, is attracted to Togo, a young executive and son of the city ruler. Despite her bad personality, Togo initially viewed Ayaka as an ordinary employee. However, when Togo asked her to help him with a project, she refused. Togo discovered Ayaka's hard work and hidden qualities, and they fell in love. Ayaka's personality improved, becoming more concerned with others. Togo became more heartfelt, and now he no longer sees Ayaka as a terrible woman. The story explores the relationship between Ayaka and Togo and their eventual love story. Number 6, Kitchen Knife and Green Chili Pepper. Soon after the war in Kyoto, Ichika works to preserve her family's long-established Roten restaurant from financial ruin. To do this, she marries Yamaguchi Amane, who is 15 years younger than her, in a marriage of convenience. Number 7, Our Fake Marriage. This drama tells the story of Yae, an ordinary girl who works in a cafe and lives with a friend. However, it turns out she couldn't afford to pay the rent where her friend suddenly got married and she just lost her job. Not until then, on the same day, she was spotted by her boyfriend and she felt she had reached the lowest point in her life. Then suddenly, a friend from her childhood came up and offered her a part-time job. Takumi suggested that Yae take a part-time job as a false wife for the next 6 months. Takumi has a reason to think he's married to people. Yes, she had no choice but to accept his application. In return, Yae will have a home and cost of living to play a role of a false wife with a time limit. However, without Yae's knowledge, it turns out she was Takumi's first love. Unfortunately, Yae only regarded him as her childhood friend. Knowing that, Takumi did not give up and instead struggled to win Yae's heart and find true love. How's the story going? Will they both finally be able to love each other genuinely? Number 8, From Me to You. Well-meaning but socially awkward Kuronuma Sawako is nicknamed Sadako by her high school classmates because of her similar hairstyle to the main character from the horror movie The Ring. She doesn't have friends and goes about her day in silence. She admires a fellow classmate, Kazehaya Shota, because of his easygoing and friendly nature, but unknown to her, Kazehaya has also been paying attention to her. Number 9, Why Didn't I Tell You a Million Times? Why Didn't I Tell You a Million Times tells a tragic love story involving the main characters, Yuisoma and Naoki Torino. They both decided to get married soon, but one incident took Naoki Torino's life. He so then travels through the world to make Yui feel sad that his lover has disappeared. At the same time, a man named Uozumi Yuzuru can see Naoki's soul and ask for her help to interact with her lover. Number 10, Mr. Bright, My Darling. A romantic Japanese drama that follows Hayami Honoka, who worked in the sales department of a large consumer electronics company. She is really nice and appears to be the ideal lady to marry one of her co-workers. Hayami's home, on the other hand, is extremely disorganized in her personal life. Yamamoto Chihiro works at the same company. He began working for the company 3 years after Hayami Honoka. He is an expert at handling domestic duties. Until one day, due to a case, he discovered that Hayami Honoka's residence was in disarray. Then he decided to live with Hayami Honoka on the condition that he complete home tasks. So what is the backstory of these two employees with diametrically opposed attitudes? You must see this Japanese romance comedy. So there we have it, our picks for the best romance Japanese dramas. What do you think of our picks? Do you agree? Are there any notable omissions? Let us know in the comment down below.